Alright, welcome back. So we're gonna talk to Thancred. There you are. I'm not gonna lie, come rest a while. You will have no better opportunity. After witnessing their god's ignominious defeat, the Majah will be less inclined to risk our wrath for a time at least. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, I was in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use to you or the abductees. They may be whole-bodied, but the same cannot be said of their minds, for once a man is tempered, but it ill suits me to dwell on the negatives. Amidst all our misfortunes, there is still reason to rejoice. Ifrit is slain, and by your hand no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual, I'm not gonna lie. Not that I ever thought you were ordinary. On the contrary, I have long suspected that you have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? My fine eye for talent remains undimmed. Minfilia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to my bearing the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to this mission. You, meanwhile, have earned yourself a rest. Take some time to relax and return to the waking sands when you are good and ready. We can discuss matters in more detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. Oh no, we're gonna go to Vespa Bay. The triumphant hero returns. Thancred told us the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar, giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join them at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. Dope, dope, to dope, dope, to dope, 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 to dope, dope. My late arrival nearly cost, I'm not gonna lie, his life. I wasn't there when the Amalja took him prisoner, and I wasn't there when they served him to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle he survived, but that does not excuse the fact that he should never have had to face such dangers alone. I failed him utterly, just as I'm failing you all. What's done is done, Thancred. You can ill blame yourself for every. I'm not gonna lie, it is so good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I had just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Thancred has told me everything. You have done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear, and now we can put paid to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amalja undertook both the robbery and the abduction with the aim of summoning their primal Ifrit. Nor is this tale limited to Ulda. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa Lominsa and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, primals must consume aether if they are to maintain their presence here, and the stronger they become, the more aether they require. Now, aether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of aether, crystals. It is for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be traced back to a primal. Which leaves us with the why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well with the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across a great river of aether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon toward which a primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or aetheric coalescence, which grants it the being's physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their adherents freely give, and in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process to which you yourself were subjected. Yet, even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remained unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We know not the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. That's cool. It is as though a greater power protects us. Hydaelyn. When first you came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait, meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. Ah, the Immortal Flames assured me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite. I'm not gonna lie. You may be sure won't last long. Once the people learn the identity of the hero who fell Ifrit, I fear you'll have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intended to or not, Minfilia neglected to tell you something. Something I think it would be best you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I am sorry to report that all are to be put to death, the flames with whom you are imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if there were any other recourse, but once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the primal whom he cannot choose but worship. And so we scions continue our fight, that no more innocents need to be sacrificed. I hope that you will continue to stand with us, I'm not going to lie. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the loss of his peoples suffered. Till next time. Gods forgive me. How many more lives? Louis Swab would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. Level up. Level up. Ooh, we've become ever so popular. Until not so very long ago, you were but one of the many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eosia. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Yida Babalima that the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in doing so. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. We have guests, I'm not gonna lie, or rather, you have guests. Beg pardons? Ah, Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. I am given to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero into their midst. I am here on behalf of the Maelstrom Grand Company of Limsa Lominsa to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. As you can see, I'm not gonna lie, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of I'm not gonna lie's deeds spread so quickly. That the Immortal Flames should know of this triumph is to be expected, but what of the other Grand Companies? Eep! Your reputation precedes you, Master Nun. 'Tis no ordinary man who can face the primal and emerge the victor. And imagine our pride when we learn that you began your journey as an adventurer in our own Gridania. Know that the people hold you in high esteem and that you will always be welcome among us. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant men such as you. Join your strengths to ours, friend, and together let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the Twelveswood. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you, Master Nun. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. A man of your talents belong with the Immortal Flame. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. It is only natural that we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa to the shores of glory. Lady Manfilia? Very well. Though I'm quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help to clarify your thoughts on this matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the marshaled economic and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently three such organizations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Limsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. Serving a grand company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may well prove useful to you in your other endeavors. If you are agonizing over which of the grand companies best deserves your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you are entitled to do so. And yet, I concede that it is no small choice you face. Ah, a thought occurs to me. You will of course recall that the three city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I am given to understand that the leader of each grand company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You are as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well. Let I'm not going to lie hear our leader speak, then return here with his decision. We eagerly await your answer. I know full well that adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited to the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join a grand company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, I'm not going to lie, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that great power is wont to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet, however vigilant you are but one man. In the midst of a grand company, however, you will be one man amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that we can continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The Grand Company seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Eosia is changing, I'm not gonna lie, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now it is time you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. She will apprise you as to where and when the remembrance services are due to take place. Yeah. Leave the Solar? Yes, I will. I'm sorry about all the attention you're getting. I'm not gonna lie. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly, and often to a few too many people. Next time, I'll be sure to hold my tongue, literally if necessary. Anyway, I expect you want to know where and when the remembrance services are taking place. If all goes to plan, Gradania's Grand Company, the Orders of the Tornado, will hold the first of the three services. An elder seats here, Kenny Sana, will deliver her address at Miketos Amphitheater. I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenges involved in assembling all the involved parties, it's possible that the order of the services might change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so make Gridania your first port of call. Next, you'll need to go to Ulda, where Flame General Raban Alden will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored there's to be a special guest. How exciting! Last but not least, you must make your way to the stateroom in Limsa Laminsa, where Maelstrom Chief Admiral Merluweeb Blosswin will be given her address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to the Sentry's Nanthale, and he will admit you. Got all that? Well, off you go then. I hope you find the Remembrance services suitably educational. I suggest visiting the city-states in my prescribed order, though with your record of impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may well change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Farewell. We going back to the Britannia. Okay, so we get those amphitheater.
I lost my son to the calamity.
The three Seed Seers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body. Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelves Wood. Fearful of the Green Wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seedseer. The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. "5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk
pox
the
on the
high
bloody
roads without
Ixal.
fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient boughs. For serenity, purity, and sanctity. We must think of the children.
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the
For
forest.
the elementals! If you'll permit me, Alphino. And my sister, Alize, at your service. I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
The Gridanians are unfortunate enough to have to contend with two beast tribes. The Ixal are unquestionably the more troublesome, being of a naturally warlike disposition and wont to summon their bloodthirsty primal, Garuda. The Sylphs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians, until recently at least. Alas, they have grown aloof, a change observed at roughly the time they summoned the primal Ramo. The Gridanians have no love for war, and they consider open conflict a last resort. Though they clash with the Ixal ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Sylphs, they are as yet bound by a peace treaty, though one wonders how long it will be before it is broken. The Twelveswood was grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the wood and thereby the power of the elementals will put an end to their woes. Yet how long will that take? Centuries, I'd wager. Meanwhile, the Ixal will continue their incursions, spurred on by Garuda and her insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later it will come to all-out war, and when it does, the Order of Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove to them, then? Well, perhaps we will find out, if the Elder Seedseer's words fell on fertile ground. Okay, give me just 1 second. I gotta take a little break, because I gotta eat something. I'm starving. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I'm back. We're gonna go to Ul'dah next. I ate a bowl of Apple Jacks and some crescent rolls. Because I'm lazy and I did not want to spend a lot of time making anything. Just kidding. Gotta go to the thingamajig. Doing the majigaboo. Yeah, this is what this is like the OG looking. I kind of like it. It's really bright though, so it's also kind of like, my eyes, but I'll get used to it. I may switch to the lighter one, I'm not sure. But I do kind of like it, honestly. It reminds me of OG Final Fantasies. Dun, 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 dun. And should be the next speech.
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanamo herself!
And Roban as well.
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore. Hurrah! Rauban! Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold. Where by the grace and glory of Naldar have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Uldar!
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden, and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, Dishonor the name of the Immortal Flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalja wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Uldar stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor, but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you. Line not your own coffers, but those of the Immortal Flames. Seek not to prosper from Uldar, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Uldar. As Uldar prospers, so shall her people.
Ya for Uldar!
Together we are one.
Your Grace.
Raubon? People of Uldar, I, Nanimo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Uldar. Yet those who measured that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Uldar lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Uldar, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanamo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the Inferno, for we are, by fire, reborn!
Raban and Nanimo are so cool.
Forsooth!
The time is now!
Fancy meeting you again.
The Uldans have a long history of conflict with the Amalja, the beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Judging by your look of distaste, I take it you have encountered them. The Uldans do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So have they dealt with Ifrit thus far, smothering his flames each time he is stoked to life. Yet he is but one of several problems. Though they have been quiet these past 5 years, the Garleans have not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves, and Ulda has no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, not even the Sultanate's coffers are bottomless, and even assuming they had the coin, resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Amalja are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, the Uldans send their forces to smite the primal, and though they invariably succeed, each victory is bought with blood. It is a war of attrition which they cannot well sustain. Small wonder then that the Immortal Flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventurer of your experience would be a most welcome addition to their ranks. Linsa, Laminsa. Dun, 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 na, 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 na. here to attend the remembrance service. Be quick. The Admiral is due to give her address at any moment. Okay.
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride. "700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. The crimson field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the black longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom standard, and our grand company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilfir's bloody executioners, and together we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage, yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The Sahagin
bastards.
have risen?
While the mines of Ogomero spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as they go. These savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now the curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the calamity has reopened twixt pirate and maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well, a crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves till sea swallows all.
Long live the Admiral!
Admiral Melvin!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll follow ye to the seven hells, Admiral!
Fancy meeting you again.
As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Limsalamence is plagued by two beast tribes. The first are the fish-like Sahagin, worshippers of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. As if the beast tribe's presence weren't troublesome enough, the Garleans have also chosen to erect a fortress right in the Lamenson's backyard. And that is to say naught of internal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to the blood feuds between the various factions. And while they fight amongst themselves, the Garleans whet their blades. If the Lamensons are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. And to this end, I expect that they will soon take decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom Standard will be drenched a deeper shade of crimson ere long. That a capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. I'm not gonna lie, this has been Philia. You are well, I hope. Would I be correct in thinking that the final remembrance service has now concluded? A moment ago you say, what a coincidence. Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies. Well, delighted though that we are to have them here at the Waking Sands, it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back. Don't tell me how to live my life, bruh. Bruh, don't rush me. Don't rush me. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want, because I'm the warrior of life, boy. Just kidding. We do want a Grand Company because we want our chocobo, and then we're going to open all of our mail and get all of our mounts and our glamours and organize stuff and hire a retainer and then I don't know yet what I'm doing after all that. Arcanist Guild. Dun da da dun dun da da dun 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 da da da. Ba, 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 ba. So we will cheat and go to Vesper Bay here. I do think that we will be joining the Immortal Flames. I don't right now what I want to do yet, but I think you can't go wrong with the Immortal Flames, right? 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 I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Or I could just go Twinada. Twinada. I don't know. I really like. I just like the flame out colors better, honestly. So I think that's what I'll choose. I'm not even sure what my seamless cutscene. Skippy dippy. Skippy dippy. So they are. Oh, they are Immortal Flames. Perfect. Perfect. That's what I always wanted. Into the waking sands? Why, yes, yes, of course I will. That's weird. Are they? Welcome back. I'm not gonna lie. Were the Grand Company leader's words as illuminating as you had hoped? Each nation is beset with problems. I trust you see now why your services are in such demand. Would that were more of you. I'm not gonna lie. Would that there were more of you. I'm not gonna lie. But you must be tired from your journey. Why don't you rest a while and take a moment to reflect on your decision? Once your mind is made up, pray give the Grand Company officers your answer. Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. Whoop, 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 bitty boop, boop, boop.
The gods only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep. The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the Calamity and Seventh Umbral Era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity? No, dear Alizé, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the Calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience. There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
My lady!
We are to escort you.
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all. The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
Welcome back, adventurer. I take it General Raban's words kindled a fire within you? Yes, they did. Excellent. I feared that the incident with the traitor may have soured your opinion of us. It gladdens me to see that isn't the case. But before we can count you as one of our own, you must be formally inducted into our ranks. Please proceed to the Hall of Flames on Ulda's merchant strip and identify yourself to the personnel officer. I will notify him of your coming. With your strength joined to ours, we shall surely prevail over our enemies, be they beastmen or Imperials. And so the Immortal Flames are right outside the Aetherite for Ulda. So that's a warrior. It's a level 50 artifact gear. Oh, they just dyed it, I think. Not sure, but it looks good. Giant Skull War Axe. I don't think that's the level 50. No, it's not, because it's prefer. It's a pretty cool one, though. Huh, cool. That's pretty cool. Samurai. Level 90 Samurai? Holy crap. Well, way behind in the story. Level 90, but only 76 weapon. What brings you to the Hall of Flames this morning, adventurer? My name's I'm not gonna lie, none. Oh, I'm here to enlist if you will have me. Is that so? Well, then I must ask you for your name. Ah, but let me guess. It is I'm not gonna lie, none, is it not? Yes, you are just our man. You are just as our man at the Waking Sands described. Thank you for electing to join us. Now, in order to formalize your... Sir! Speak, Private. Imperial, sir. They fired on a High Wind Skyways airship. Scout says she's coming down to the west near Horizon's Edge. Bloody hells, of all the times for this to happen. I'm not gonna lie, there's no time for formalities. The Immortal Flames need your help now. We're in the midst of a large-scale operation against the Amalja, and we have no one to spare in Western Thanalan. You must get to that ship before the Garleans do. If there are any survivors, see that they do not come to further harm. Now go! Aye, aye, Captain. Cool-looking airship. Yeah, it is. An adventurer. What are you doing out here? No, wait, let's find some cover first. The Immortal Flames sent you? How do I know you're not an Imperial spy? You don't even have a uniform. Are you all right, sir? Our scouts reported the attack on your craft. We've come to rescue you. I'm not gonna lie, Nunez. Glad to have you with us. I have not seen a craft of this design before. The traitor Garland has been busy. The secrets of Magitech are ours by right. They are not to be squandered upon the savages of this land. We are taking this craft back to the fortress. Dismantle it if you must, and bring the engineer. Someone must pay for Garland's crimes. They mean to take the ship back to Castra Meridium, along with your friend. Why'd you have to help him? That fool of a Lalafell was hiding inside the tiny Bronco. Nice looking ship, though not the best place to have taken shelter, I agree. It's the first airship we've built since the Calamity. The first since Master Garland. Well, since he went missing. After years of work, she was finally ready for her first test flight, and she was soaring, she really was, till those bastards blasted her out of the sky. We attack on my command. Kill them quickly and save the Lalafell if possible. Is that clear? I'm not gonna lie. Aye. Aye, aye, Captain. Show them what becomes of those who play with fire. Charge! We're under attack. To arms! We about to poop on them. Bro, come back here. Burp, 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 burp. Biggs! Wedge, you shouldn't have stayed with the ship. That was a close one. Too damn close. So how's she look anyway? The auxiliary propeller is a dead loss, but I think we can wring enough thrust from the main propeller to get us airborne. A few minor modifications and we should be able to fly the tiny Bronco home. The Imperials will come looking for their scouts, but we can defend this position until the engineers leave. You should go, I'm not gonna lie. You still have unfinished business to attend to at the Hall of Flames. You're not quite one of us yet, though anyone who's seen you in action today would be forgiven for thinking otherwise. I just wanted to say sorry, for calling you an Imperial spy and all that. Got that one wrong, didn't I? Haha, seriously though. If it hadn't been for you and the Immortal Flames lads there, we'd be chained up in a dungeon by now. I'm in your debt, friend. We both are. Indeedy. Indeedy. Wedge. Thank you. We're very grateful. Back to the Hall of Flames we go to join our friends, the Immortal Flames. And I think we're officially level 20-ish. Main store scenario quest. So we're almost 25 on the Lancers. That's cool. Welcome back, I'm not gonna lie. Word of your deeds in the field reached me not long ago. Exemplary service. Rest assured that the Garland Ironworks engineers are fine. They were able to get their vessel back in the air before Imperial reinforcements arrived. Your willingness to assist us on such short notice is to be commended. Clearly your reputation is well deserved. Now then, I believe we have some unfinished business. Shall we continue from where we left off and induct you into the Immortal Flames? Yes, please. Personnel officer stands ready to complete your induction into the ranks. Are you ready? I'm not gonna lie. Then let us begin. I'm not gonna lie, none. You stand poised to enter a sacred trust. The flames of Ul'dah burn bright, casting light where there is dark and purging evil wheresoever it lurks. We are ever ready to meet the nation's enemies in battle, be they beastmen, Garleans, or worse. And at a word from Flame General Raubon al-Din, we would gladly lay down our lives to maintain the peace and prosperity of Ul'dah. To join our ranks, you must forsake all other nations. Only then may you commit yourself to the fire and be reborn as an immortal flame. Burn us, one of us, I'm not gonna lie. Together we shall chase the darkness from Ul'dah. Will you swear an oath to mark this occasion? My sword belongs to Ul'dah. What skills I have belong now to Ul'dah. And Ul'dah will have need of them in the days ahead. The knowledge and experience of well-traveled adventurers are valuable assets. Very well, your resolve is plain. I'm not gonna lie, none. I hereby confer upon you the rank of Flame Private 3rd Class. Welcome to the Immortal Flames, Private. May you fight to the last for coin and country. Nope, not gonna be dying here, my friend. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Can you hear me? I'm not gonna lie, this is Minfilia. An officer of the Immortal Flames contacted me with the news of your enlistment. My congratulations, Private Nun. I have no doubt that you are eager to make the acquaintance of your new comrades, but I would ask that you pay a visit to your old ones first. Remember, though, you are now flammable, though you are no less a scion. Pray return to the waking sands at your earliest convenience. There are some friends here whom I would very much like you to meet. We shall be waiting. It seems your presence is required elsewhere. But before you leave, perhaps you could find a moment to speak with Commander Swift. He is not one to see new recruits go into the field unprepared. You may now accept the quest, My Little Chocobo, Immortal Flames, by speaking with Swift. This quest must be completed in order to proceed to the end of the main scenario for A Realm Reborn. Okay, bud. Okay, bud. Alright, so we're going to end this video here. Please, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it to get notifications for new videos. I've been trying to be pretty consistent and keep them going. I'm going to push through and do some more of the story. You can catch me live anytime I'm recording, twitch.tv/I'm not gonna lie. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.